Hello? Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, I thought the 4,000 people was a typo, by the way. This is kind of crazy. But yeah, in the late 1800s, one problem was preventing the development of any major cities. Horse poop. Yeah, I mean, back when horses were our main form of transportation, we just didn't know what to do with all of it. I mean, urban planners were thinking we were going to have piles taller than our favorite NBA players in most major city centers. But of course, thanks to the invention of the horseless carriage, aka the car, that didn't happen. And this is a trend that we've seen through human history, where we've used animals as technology, but given the downsides of it, innovated out of that. Another example is insulin, where we used to take insulin from pigs, but then we figured out a way to make it from bacteria in a cheaper, safer, faster way. The main place where we haven't made this pivot yet is agriculture. Half of all habitable land in the world is used for agriculture. And 80% of that land is used for animal agriculture, despite it giving us less than 20% of our total calories. And that's led to us doing some pretty wacky things to get the efficiency up. So as one example, we do selective breeding, which makes chickens 5 times bigger than they're supposed to be. Shout out Shawarma Plus for the dinner, by the way. Secondly, we do factory farming, where 3/4 of animals worldwide are factory farmed. And in some countries like the US, that number goes up to 99%. Yeah, boo indeed, you know? But given these factors, I personally didn't really want to eat meat anymore. But then I also realized that animal agriculture is a leading cause of climate change, infectious disease, antibiotic resistance, biodiversity loss. And honestly, I could kind of keep going on. But the problem is meat's just tasty. It's affordable, it's accessible, you know, and if we look at the stats, telling people don't eat meat isn't a really good solution. You know, so we somehow need to figure out a way to innovate into novel products like we've done in the past. Because as it stands right now, meat production is only expected to double in the coming decades. And guys, like, we legit don't have enough land for that. Like, we literally can't do that. That's where alternative proteins comes in. So there's 3 main categories of alternative proteins: plant-based, like Beyond Meat; bacterial-based, like things like fermented products; and things that come from animal cells, like cultivated or lab-grown meat. The problem is this field is still very new and there's very little funding. So despite the fact that we have a clear problem and a clear solution, comparing it to another field like electric vehicles, which honestly has a smaller transition needed, and you can barely see it on the graph. Like, it's barely a footnote. And to add insult to injury, that's not even global EV funding. That's just one country's funding. So in learning about the field, one of the major nonprofits in the space is called the Good Food Institute, and they support student groups. They have 80 plus around the world, including one that was just starting at Waterloo. So I joined, and since then we've had dozens of events featuring hundreds of people, everything ranging from research talks to food tastings to lectures and everything in between. And as the head of research, we were supposed to try and define a research vision, and we chose to focus on lab-grown fish, which at a really high level, the way that works is you take cells from the fish, you try and find the best ones, best performing ones, you grow them in these big things called bioreactors, which are kind of like what we grow beer in. And at the end, you hopefully have a product that's pretty similar to, you know, the existing ones. And we're focused on the early stage of that, the kind of optimization of the cells, because there's kind of a lot to do there still. And somehow this vision and the specifics was coherent enough where we kind of got a bag, you know, we got some money. But, okay, thanks. But what's funny about this was we got this 2 hours before my exam season started, and I'm not a great student to begin with, but seeing this very welcome distraction honestly wasn't the best timing, because, you know, if I fail out of school, it doesn't matter how much money we have, I can't use it. So I'm trying to buckle down and, you know, grind, and of course, naturally, I aced all my exams. I got straight hundreds. I don't know why you guys are cheering. Look at the grades. I got 38 and 41. Yeah. Okay, that's crazy. I wasn't anticipating a clap there, not gonna lie. My parents did not clap at that fact. Yeah, I failed so bad I had to switch programs, but I didn't fail out of school, which all things consider is a dub. But yeah, I mean, research, research is long and difficult, and that's when you know what you're doing, right? So of course we've hit plenty of setbacks, but I think what's so cool about this field is, one, it affects everybody. Show of hands if you've eaten food before. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to a couple of you after the show, but mostly my point stands. The expertise is involved in all different areas, and the field is so new, you can kind of just fumble around and you're doing useful things. And one example of this is, I have more of a computational background to start, and one of the papers we helped publish was on the use of machine learning in cultivated meat. And so this is kind of like our love letter to the tech bros in the audience. If you want to use AI for something not named B2B SaaS, you could give this a read. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, but I think, wait, is that the next slide? I think it might have. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So I think one of the biggest takeaways overall with the work has been that, honestly, I had this unconscious belief that there was just armies of scientists working to solve all these problems, and they were kind of going to be solved. But that's so not true. We couldn't fill the front couple rows of this audience with the people working in this field. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we could work 24/7, and these problems we're barely making a dent. So really, we need a lot more people doing this stuff. But it's not all doom and gloom. Just last week, I got the chance to try the first ever approved lab-grown pork product in the world. Thanks. Which was actually kind of insane, because it was the first time I'd eaten meat in 4+ years, and I was like, oh wait, this is actually this isn't theoretical, it's actually happening. So overall, the field's developing, but not fast enough. So there's lots of things we need people to do. We made it really easy for you guys to learn more. We're hosting a conference, all the Canadian groups, literally in 10 days at UFT campus. We didn't rent out a hockey stadium though, so you guys can't all come, but hopefully some of you will. And then if you're interested in learning more about different ways to get involved in the field, please hit me up at my booth. And just in conclusion, if I listed all the names of the people who were contributing to this, it will take another 5 minutes. So just thank you to all the organizations and people who've been a part of this. I'm just the person talking for 5 minutes today. So thank you.